Hello, all you wonderful people of the YouTubes. We are going to be jumping into another quick draft to see if the AI recommendations are accurate for what we're seeing recommended by Google. So after one draft, they said that the Black Green Disappear deck and the Is It decks were undervalued, and that certainly seemed to be the case, but that could just, be a coincidence. So let's hop into it and see what this draft looks like. Okay, so if what they say is correct, the Is It deck is undervalued. We have a great signpost card here with the Brilliance Unleashed for that deck. Now, the problem is if we take that first pick, it's only good in that deck. The Anchovy Pizza is great in anything black. And the Galgari deck, which was open in our first draft, which they said is undervalued, this card would be great. So I really don't want to speculate on a Brilliance Unleashed and throw away our first pick when we have the opportunity to get something as powerful as the Anchovy Pizza. So Black White Ninjas, they say, is heavily contested. It's also seen as the most powerful deck in the format. So with all that said, I think we're just going to go ahead and we're going to take the Anchovy Pizza. Okay, getting a Kaya pick 2 seems pretty good. So again, if Google is correct in its assessment that Galgari is undervalued, Tainted Treats is here, which is just an amazing removal card. I think we'll grab it. Okay, here for the Galgari deck, the only card that I think is really worth playing, and it's a great card. This is your card advantage engine. There's not a whole lot of draw cards outside of the 3 mana draw 2. So your Ragamuffin Raptors is really your card advantage. I think this is fine. There's an Everything Pizza here. There's also an Ice Cream Kitty. I think this is so early in pack 1 to get the Everything Pizza that we can build around it. Let's see what we can do. And we have a Frog Butler. This is perfect. Primordial Pachyderm is a card we're very happy to play. So there's nothing in here that we really want to play in a green-black. Let's just say that we're not sure about the Everything Pizza just yet. Warthog Warrior, I'm sure we'll see more of this. I don't think the card's particularly good, and I don't want to play it if I don't have to. But just in case we wind up being the Everything Pizza deck, we'd like to have the Mutant Town. So interesting. There's not a whole lot here for us. We'll take the Guac Pizza. I don't know that we want to play that. That is crazy to me. So the Brilliance Unleashed Wield. If we're going to do an Everything Pizza deck, there's a potential that we splash for this thing. So if we can manage to set this thing up, that's great. Potentially we play a Cowabunga just to help us find some of our off-color land. Foot Mystic, I really don't want to play. We have an Ooze Spill this late in the game. Is this why I see so many more Ooze Spills in this format? Because they come around so late? I would just prioritize the Butler. The best card, if we want to fix our land, is going to be this Escape Tunnel. So let's get it in here. Tenderize is great with 2 Frog Butlers. I think this is just the card, the Courier. We need some more 2-drops anyway. I think the Pizza at this point takes priority over the Butler. I think we'll take the removal. Well, we'll definitely take a Shredder on Relenting here. I think I'd rather have the creature. My creature count is very low right now. I think we'll take a Death in the Family. I think it's better than the Exterminator. The Colonex was actually pretty good the first time I ever played it. If we're going to do Everything Pizza, let's just move all in on this thing. So you just take the lower mana cost of the bad card in case you do wind up having to play with it. Oh, Agent Bishop's really good. I don't think he's better than another Frog Butler. We will just take the Frog. We'll grab another Ragamuffin. All the frogs we could ever want. I think a Mutant Town here is just fine. The Punk Frogs I don't think is the worst, but I'd rather not play it if I don't have to. It's got a solid body on it, and the Ward 3 is harder to deal with than I think people give it credit for. 5 Frog Butlers. That is ridiculous to me. So Baxter Stockman is fine, and he's a card draw engine. For 1 more mana, we can just get a card that's also a pretty solid late game finisher. I think we're just going to do that, and it's on color. Another Pachyderm is great. I think we're just going to take the land. I think we take the Exterminator over the Bebop, just because it's a lower mana cost. We need to add to the board early in the game. Slithering Cryptoid is another off-color land. Retro Mutation, maybe. All right, so we need to cut 6 cards. So I think the Retro Mutation is going to be the hardest to play removal spell for us. So I think we're going to cut that. Next worst card for us is the Cowabunga. I think we get rid of both of those. I think the Guac and Marshmallow Pizza is the next worst card here. As much fun as the Brilliance Unleashed seems like playing, it's really hard on our mana. We only have 3 artifacts for it to get back. So it's just going to be bad in our deck. So let's take a look at our lands. So we're going to get rid of those. Mutant Town's fine. We don't really need the blue for anything other than our Everything Pizza. So I think we cut one of those as well. We only want one of them. So I think we're going to cut the Collinex. I think we're ready to jump into some games. This looks perfectly fine. Okay. Looks like we're playing against the blue-red artifacts. I think we'll play the Frog. Play the Plains. Let's see what we draw next turn before we play the Everything Pizza, just to see what it is we need to fetch. Yep, that resolves. No mana ramping for me. Here, I think we're just going to go get our second black source. Yeah, I needed to play a forest to be able to hold up Tenderize, or to be able to play my Courier. If he is just tapping down my Frog Butler again, I am super happy with this, because he is not developing his board at all. Now, he is going to be drawing a lot of cards. I think I want to play a Pachyderm, put something on the battlefield that he has to deal with. He has more Surveillance Cams, which, according to the information I've been seeing in Quick Draft, it is a card that is undervalued and it comes around late. So if you're playing this deck, you could potentially have a bunch of these. Make this harder to deal with. If he has an Everything or a Spicy Oatmeal Pizza now, it puts the Pachyderm outside of its range. So I now have a 1/2 blocker, and we will just play the Courier of Combustibles. And I will get a Anchovy and Banana Pizza. probably should have killed the Technodrome before they got to draw the card off of it. That was probably a big mistake. The good news is we can kill both of their creatures. Come on, Mark. I keep messing up this sneak mechanic so bad. We'll sacrifice one of these to get it in the graveyard in case we draw a raptor. So I think we just attack with everything. I'd imagine he'd block the Cryptoid. Okay, he's done. So that should have been our play last turn, getting the Shredder in. I'm not sure that it worked out worse that we missed it. Kind of seems like it worked out in our favor. Not that I would recommend doing that. This hand looks perfectly fine. We have everything to make our deck go. So the information that I gathered off of the internet says that the black-green deck is the worst deck in the format. We're going to play Zoo Escapees just to try to get some pressure here a little early. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I guess the information comes from 17 lands. Well, Mr. Frog, you're a little bit late. So let's go to combat. Our opponent's got something going on in his hand. I wonder if he's got a land cycler, maybe. We'll just play our frog. Better late than never. He could have removal. He didn't kill anything. So I'd really like to be able to play my Pachyderm here, but I really need to get a land so we can play him and a second Frog Butler. I think we got to make sure that we don't miss our land drops. So let's go ahead and grab an island. He's got all the Michelangelos. So here, I think we're just going to play the Courier of Combustibles. Get our anchovy pizza. And I think we want to play a Pachyderm in case we can maybe start attacking next turn. No attacks. One more land allows us to activate our everything pizza. If he has a combat trick, I think it's better to double block. I think double block here. If he has the death trick, the pain 101, this hurts more, but I think it's more likely that he has like a guacamole pizza. Now, if he has nothing, it means he just gets to kill a Zoo Escapees for free, but I don't think you can make a bluff attack with a 3/3. Okay, yep, that's going to be pretty good. So I don't think he's going to play anything that we can kill. So I think we're just going to attack. I think we attack with everybody and try to get him with the... See if he blocks that courier. I'm okay with trading the courier. We have 3 raptors. We can potentially get it back that way. This death in the family is looking terrible. I think the long game favors us. I think we just got to try to put pressure on him, force him into trades, but we can play our pachyderm. I think we're going to take this. So we just need one of our off-color lands here. Grab a mountain. Play Death in the Family on the Squirrelinoids. Finally got value out of it. Oh. And that worked out pretty well. We didn't even need to activate the everything pizza. No green. 2 swamps and a mountain. Can't do it. This, on the other hand, we can do. We don't really have anything we can do till turn 4 besides play a pizza, but sure. We're going to put the ragamuffin back. We're going to be searching our library after we play the everything pizza anyway. Do I want to play the everything pizza? I think we're not going to, and we're just going to land cycle the Rocksteady He's going to be too slow in this matchup anyway. We're taking a beating on this one. We got to get something on the battlefield that can start blocking. Oh, good heavens. We have to have removal for that immediately, or we're just going to die to it, because we can't block anything ever again. Hold the fort down, boys. I don't know that it's going to be possible. He has like a mechanized robot or two. Ugh. Oh, he didn't have anything. So we will play another swamp and a pachyderm. That's a pretty good draw. So we'll play our everything pizza, get a plains. Don't think it matters. So let's see if they want to try to trade. Well, that prevents us from being able to activate our everything pizza next turn. Prehistoric pet. Now he can just keep bouncing. No! They tapped me so bad. Oh, Mark, how did you not see they tapped your swamp, man? What a mistake by me. I needed to kill that Mutanimals. Well, we'll be able to sack the anchovy pizza on their end step and be able to pick it back up with the raptor. Let the prehistoric pet get through. If they have a trick, I'm more than happy to let them trade for it here. That's a pretty good one. There was nothing I was ever going to be doing about that. Mutanimals is just so powerful. Got to try to make him a better blocker. Pachyderm cannot do it. Pass turn. This is so bad because I got to block Karai, otherwise he's just bringing back his flyer who can give things flying next turn. So I got to chump. Still getting to draw a card, still getting to play creatures, making his Mutanimals amazing. Yeah, I can't deal with the value of this. The Mighty Mutanimals is just a busted card. We're just going to go ahead and scoop this up. There's no reason. I can kill one thing. We only have green, but we have a Frog Butler. I think this is fine. Starting hand with double black card feels kind of bad. But one swamp. We have 2 removal with the Frog Butlers. And we got an everything pizza. So all is right in the world. Does our Frog Butler survive? He's going to survive. We'll go get black. We will tenderize his Frog Butler just to try to keep him off some mana. You say hopefully he doesn't do anything too crazy here, that we can just play the New Generations technique. So this is going to be risky, but I don't think I'm getting my second swamp. I'm going to be relying a lot on this Frog Butler to live. Well, that made this much easier. Now I'm going to be getting a swamp. So swamp, and we'll get an island. Try to make this a threat if he wants to try to. Although he's not going to attack into it with the Ice Cream Kitty. Maybe potentially we can tenderize something that he plays. Although Saved by the Shell's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. He's tapped out. Yep. Just go ahead and play our Pachyderm. Can't attack into it. There's a good possibility he just has a bunch more removal. Those were pretty good. No attacks. We are going to take a pretty big hit here. He's not using his mutagen counters. That West Wing Avatar, I don't think we can beat that. We probably needed to activate our Everything Pizza last turn and kill that Genghis Frog. I think this is going to be too far gone now. We weren't going to win blocking there. And we can't gain enough life to stay alive. We'll just move on. Got some early threats and removal. Opponent goes first. This is an aggro start for us. Yeah, and it's just getting better. So we'll go ahead and play Zoo Escapees. They're red-green? Try to give them a reason to put some resources into making Michelangelo bigger before I kill it with Death in the Family. So he could have a number of different things here. He could have a manhole missile. He could have a guac pizza, which I couldn't kill through. So there's no way we can block this. Let's see if he's got the manhole missile. Okay. He might have the guac pizza, in which case he's going to be able to eat our zoo escapees. Okay. That was an interesting exchange. No blocks. So we can play the Exterminator and the Frog Butler. I think that's just try to get some more beef on the battlefield. No tax. Well, that's interesting. I guess he just wants to get a trigger for Michelangelo. That's the best thing he's got going. If he has a manhole missile, that still means he needs something else to keep it alive. He gets to kill our Exterminator, which isn't attacking through the Pachyderm unless we kill it. I think we're just going to block like this. See what he wants to kill. He can only kill one thing. Okay, this still leaves it dead. We're drawing off the top now. Guy blocks. I think we put this on our frog. Fortunately, I think we're at a stalemate. Them being stuck on land and only being able to play one spell a turn is what's keeping us in the game. Still feel like I got to get the other swamp in case they kill my frog butler. He could have to block, and I have double. That is not going to be Krang. You say he's going to attack with a bovine. Yes, make your Krang bigger. I don't think we have anything in our deck that's going to deal with Krang. We don't have any exile effects. All right, so we wound up trying the Galgari again. It did feel like it was open. We got a bunch of the staple cards for it: the Ragamuffin Raptors, the Pachyderms, the Anchovy Pizzas, 5 Frog Butlers, 2 Tenderizes. So, I mean, everything as far as the shelf for that deck, it feels like it was open again. We got Tainted Treats. You know, it's probably the best removal for this. Courier of Combustibles. We did water it down a little bit by trying to play the Everything Pizza. I do not regret that. Everything Pizza is awesome, and it is a ton of fun to play. We probably made our deck worse. We definitely made our deck worse because we absolutely killed our mana base in an attempt to try to make sure that we could play it. But I do not regret that. Even though we wound up going 2 and 3, it was still fun. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Have a great day.